Hey there, welcome to day 1315 of What You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, documenting the journey as I transition from brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. A little bit of back and forth. And today we're going to talk about evening. What do we do in the evening? What do we enjoy doing in the evening? And how does that help us keep our chin up? Our idiom for supersize your business today was keep your chin up. And so I shared 10 ways, and there's a lot more, but 10 ways that I've used and other people have used and will continue to use, especially during times like COVID-19, like this crazy pandemic or crazy environmental times, crazy times of change and chaos for all of us. And just because we're not all simultaneously going through a chaotic time doesn't mean we're not all experiencing our own little changes and challenges all the time, every day. I can't think of a day that I haven't had some problem to solve or something that came up or some dilemma or something that was different than before. Every single day in my life has pretty much been different, which is what makes it a lot more fun, right? Wouldn't it be boring if every day we lived was exactly the same? I think that's why people get sad and depressed, is because nothing in their life feels like it's changing. Of course it always is, because change comes from within us, but it doesn't always feel like it is. And I think that a lot of that happened in 2020 and with the lockdowns and the shutdowns, and into 2021 people were just feeling stuck and uncertain and afraid and immobilized, which was all intentionally created. It's sad to say, but it's up to us to personally and individually be responsible for how we respond to all of it, how we respond to any of it. And one of the ways, and 10 of the ways to respond to it, is by keeping our chin up, keeping a stiff upper lip, as the British say, making the best of a bad situation, doing what we can do with, and I say this all the time, do what you can with what you've got right now, but don't just stop making progress toward what it is that you want to create in your life, because other stuff is going on in the world. Because guess what? Other stuff is always going on in the world. And the truth is, 99.999% of the time, we have no clue of what is going on in the rest of the world. And it really doesn't matter to us creating what it is that we want in the world. There are plenty of resources and infinite opportunities and possibilities for each and every one of us to create the life we want. And anybody that tells you differently has other plans for you. They have ulterior motives, and they have other things that they want you to do to help them create their vision of life and their goals and their objectives. They don't really have your best interests at heart. As much as they say they do, they really don't. Unless it's a coach or something that you have. And there again, with everybody that you interact with, do you really have my best interests at heart, or am I just another coaching person to you? Am I just another paycheck, or are you really going to help me with this particular area or aspect of my life? Remember, just like we don't get all of our needs met by one other person, one friend, we usually have more than one friend. We usually only have one significant other partner, but some people don't. Some people have many. But different people come in and out of our lives, different situations come in and out of our life, because we need to have those experiences. We need to learn and grow and become the best version of ourselves. So shared 10 ways that you can keep your chin up, and invited people in that group to share what have they done, what has made the biggest difference for them in continuing to move forward and make progress and to supersize and grow their business, to move toward their goals during the pandemic. I think that's great information that we can learn from one another, and we should be sharing that. We should be sharing stories about what we've done to continue to move forward, not what we've done to stay stuck. Plenty of people have stayed stuck, but those are the people that need our information and our inspiration in terms of, well, how did we keep moving forward when millions and millions of people just stayed stuck and are just now scrambling to figure out how do they get moving again. And after months and months and months of being stuck and standing still and having inertia and fear, they've built a huge barrier, a huge wall that they need to climb over, called their comfort zone, to get moving again. It's always a lot better if you just keep moving a little bit every day than if you don't move for a bunch of days and then it's like weekend warriors with exercise. If you don't do anything all week long and then you go out on the weekends and go on huge hikes or run marathons and things, if you're not training during the week, that's going to be a huge challenge to your body and your health, as well as your psyche. So it's easier, at least in my experience, to do a little bit every day to move toward our goals and objectives than to to expect that we're going to make these huge leaps and bounds. Huge leaps and bounds take huge amounts of energy and preparation and planning. And you might get that big bang for your effort, but chances are it's not going to be as successful as you planned it to be or expected it to be, and less successful than if you were to do single daily actions that cumulatively move you toward what it is that you want. Just my opinion. So keep your chin up. Now, I did learn some good chin exercises I'm going to have to start doing if I remember or so choose going forward. It's amazing when you're researching something, what people consider related things, and you find all kinds of interesting things that you never knew before and probably didn't even need to know in your entire life. Our idiom for our annual challenge to do one thing every day that centers us to get to know ourselves better was about, it's the stop and smell the roses one. These are used throughout the book, and today I was wishing that I had actually realized early on that this was going to be a repeating theme, and then just had roses available, and I could, stop and smell the roses just to get attention and to draw people's eye to it. Same with the target ones. If I would have thought about it before, I would have gotten a target. I have lots of targets around, from shooting things, bows and arrows, shooting guns, shooting fun stuff out to practice and get better at it. But that would require planning and pre-planning and pre-structuring and thinking that I had done the whole thing in advance. And of course I didn't. This is a very impromptu activity, just like the daily idiom is an impromptu thing. Why? Because it keeps me on my toes. It keeps me sharp. It keeps me thinking. It keeps me researching. It keeps me asking questions and curious. And that all helps to keep moving me forward. Again, this is our 4th annual challenge. You would think by the 4th year, I would have added more structure and more professional video making to it. But it's just to warm my voice up every day, and as well as make single daily action progress towards something that I want in my life. I want my life, I don't know about you, but I want my life to be more centered and focused and moving toward what I want, not what the rest of the world wants for me. Lived my life for everybody else for about 50 years. That didn't work out so well for me, and at 50 ended up making massive changes in my life, following a massive change in my life. So that our idiom today was about evening activities, and what do you enjoy about the evening, or what do you enjoy in doing during the evening? What do you just stop and take a deep breath and be present for in the evening, I guess is how I looked at that one. And I didn't have any trouble answering it. Already did that one. Sometimes I do it right away. Sometimes I do it before I do the video. Other times I don't do it until later in the day, or like right before I go to bed, because I forgot to do it. I forgot to go back and actually do my single daily action homework to do one thing a day that centers me. But for the last week or so, I have been practicing and investigating next year's annual challenge, which I haven't decided 100% that that's what it's going to be. I've got a couple of ideas, but I'm playing with something every night before I go to bed. That sounds terrible. I'm playing with a tool, a strategy every night before I go to bed to see what kind of an impact it has on me between now and the end of the year. And then by the end of the year, I'll decide, probably before then, probably after 30 or 45 days, I'll know if this is exactly what I want to do and then how I want to do it and roll it out, or if I want to do something different for next year's annual challenge. I guarantee I will be doing an annual challenge next year. I've gotten in the habit now 4 years in a row of going live every day, with the exception of when I had COVID. I think it was Christmas Day COVID. I couldn't do it. I could not get my head off the couch, much less stop coughing enough or breathe to do a video that day. And it turned out it was on Christmas. Kids were in Florida. They, of course, all got sick too. And this was all just before all the COVID and all the pandemic stuff came out. We didn't know. But I'd been on a cruise in earlier, a few weeks earlier, and I wasn't even a blip on my radar or a thought that I could have gotten sick from that. But now that hindsight's 2020, as we go back and look at things, I absolutely positively guarantee that that was probably the source and the right timing for contracting COVID-19. So wish we would have known what it was, because I probably would have been a little bit better prepared, but I weathered it. I'm still here today, so obviously I was just meant to get sick and get over it. And it was a miserable, probably about a month. It was about a month from a little before well, probably Thanksgiving time to, no, it wasn't Thanksgiving. It was a couple weeks into December, all through Christmas. The worst was Christmas and Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, though. I remember I was watching or sleeping through, literally sleeping through one of those mini shows, mini series on, I don't know if it was Netflix or Hulu or something, but I don't even remember it. I'd have to go back. It was Witcher. I'd have to go back and watch it again because I have no idea what it was about. And obviously, I don't care that much. It was just to have noise in the house and some background noise when everybody was gone. And it was the holidays, so it was kind of a sad time to be sick. I always hate being sick over the holidays. You know, it's the time we get together with our families, normally when it's not COVID. And it wasn't COVID then, so I missed the whole Christmas. So I was quarantined even before the pandemic hit. All right, any questions? Hit me up in the comments below or ask me, direct message me. You can always find me. Just search Sharon Horne-Ellstrom on social media if we're not friends or not connected, and send me a message, and then let me know that you sent me a message somehow, or I may not see it depending on the platform that you send it through. That's it. Have an awesome day. Have a great Labor Day tomorrow. It's actually a holiday weekend. Enjoy it. Enjoy family, friends, whatever it is that you're doing. And if I can help in any way, please let me know. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow just to keep updating people on what's working, what's not for me in this day and age with respect to businesses and even a little bit of life. All right. Have a great day.